Okay, just as an example here for question 5, I wanted you to go and ask ChatGPT something. Now I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do it as I would like you to have a go at it. We want to write a short regex, so we're going back to the topic of regex. 5 to 10 characters. So I don't know what this pattern's going to look like, but I want to find any sequence of exactly 3 bases. Right, so let's split this into 2. We're going to ask it to write the regex, and then we are going to paste it into ChatGPT and ask, explain this regex to me in plain English. Okay, let's have a look. First of all, I'm going to copy this part, and I'm going to go on over to here. Where is it? Hi, ChatGPT. I'm working on a coding module that deals with DNA sequences. Can you write a short regex? Okay, and I'm deliberately not going to specify the language. Okay, so it doesn't know that we're writing in Python. So that regex should look the same regardless of any language. So let's just see what happens. Okay, right. And actually, I think the next part of the question where we ask it to explain it is kind of redundant because it's already done it. So it's giving us a regex. And remember, if we wanted to use this in Python, we would define that as a pattern equals r quotation, and then we would put all of this in. So let's break it down. The \b indicates a word boundary to ensure we match exactly 3 characters. This will match one of the 4 base DNA bases. This curly bracket 3 at the end ensures we're only matching exactly 3 characters, is what I asked for, and another boundary at the end to make sure it's only 3. Okay, so I think I kind of want to see this in action. Great. I'm always very positive with ChatGPT, just in case it does rise up and take the world over. It'll remember me as someone who was nice to it. Thanks. Can you give me an example string that I could apply this pattern to? Let's have a look. Okay, great. So there we go. Applying that should match those. And I can see that's exactly right. So that's really, really useful. Great. Could you write a standalone function for Python that takes a sequence as a parameter and returns the found bases, or three base sequences as a list. See what it does. Okay, amazing. So here's the function, and here's how I'm going to use it. And here's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to use this, copy that, I'm going to update my my seek utils that we did in the last question with a new function. Cool. You'll notice that the R has got a wiggly underline, so I'm going to make sure I've imported RE, and that should go green, correct? So this function is going to use that pattern and then return the matches. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to create a new file. I'm going to use question 4 again, and from this should be imported now from my seek-utils. You also notice that I don't need to rewrite import RE here because it's already been imported when importing the seek-utils. But I'm going to have a go at print 3 base matches, and then I'm just going to call that function again. I can't even remember what I called it. Dot seek utils dot, and it's called find 3 base sequences. Right, I'm going to feed it my DNA, and I'm going to run this, and it hasn't found any. That's a bit worrying, isn't it? So why didn't it find? It's because don't know. Let's have a look at my sequtils. Okay, this is good. So this is authentic at least. So something hasn't gone right here. Let's have a look. Let me explain to ChatGPT what I've done. So what I'll be doing here is explaining to ChatGPT. Okay, I've stored the function in seek utils utils.py, but when running the following line, I get an empty list. Why? And it says the issue is likely due to how the regex pattern is written. Okay, so it's suggesting an update. For example, okay, so it's basically telling us we need to update our pattern. Okay, didn't like the OR pipe in there. Let's have a go, see what happens. So in sequtils, I'm going to replace this pattern here. Oops. And then I'm going to run my Q4 again. Still hasn't found it. Don't know why. Here's my DNA sequence. Stay logged out. Yep, so that looks good. So why hasn't it found it? Okay, after a bit of wrangling and a bit of back and forth with ChatGPT, we figured out that the problem was it didn't like those \b characters at the end there. In fact, it might work if I put one at the end, but I basically took them out and then it worked. So that was a pretty authentic back and forth between ChatGPT. It generated code, but it got it wrong in this context. And I had to keep iterating and asking it questions. Basically I said, why doesn't this work? And eventually it did figure it out. So just bear that in mind. If you're going to use ChatGPT, don't expect it to be right every time, and expect it to think that it's right even when it's not. Okay, that was worth seeing, I think. Right, let's have a break there.